Um, but I know you are looking on and always tune in, looking, waiting to hear us because we have a lot to say and we make a lot of sense, I've been told. Good evening, of course, to our newly minted umpire,
Ah,
yeah, Mr. Gerard Llanos, who
good.
is joining us, and he joins us from time to time. But today he's well suited up. He's a professional in his own right, so and maybe he could say his good evenings.
Good afternoon, world. And big up Point 14. Happy birthday, Point 14. My alma mater, my home.
How old are you now?
Excuse me?
How old now?
I have no idea. But we live in the age of AI and we live in the age of technology. We will Google Point 14
Okay.
on this
But
lovely.
I guess they are as old as Trinidad and Tobago.
Of course, of course. But I mean, of
But
course, Point 14 is a proud place with a rich history and sport
yeah.
and culture and everything. And, you know, we thinking
And
about
I
Point
hear a
14.
lot of people going down there this weekend.
Of course, of course. And I mean, a big up to our Member of Parliament, Ernesto Kiza. Also big up to the corporation and all the hardworking, all the men and councillors, you know, it's a funny political situation in Point 14 now.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
government,
Yeah.
the MP is UNC and
And
the corporation is PNM, I understand.
but point is love.
Yeah.
And no matter what the political tension, I mean, we all know each other in Point 14. We work together for the betterment of Point 14. But we must, of course, hail Mr. Kiza and Fusion. Fusion is doing very well in Point 14.
Well, what I do know about Point 14 and enjoy about Point 14 most
Yes.
is not the Borough Day.
What is it?
There's something that happens just after the Borough Day.
What's that?
A fete called Bedrock.
Bedrock Amazing Party. But I don't think it has it this year, though.
Uh,
Yes, but Bedrock is an amazing party.
yeah, that fete that is a nice
It
fete.
is a
Last year I was
nice
in
line.
that fete and I really enjoyed it.
Yes,
Enjoyed it.
yes. So
Um,
big up to all the
That's
point
a
people.
really good fete. I mean,
Yes.
it's a very expensive fete to go to,
Of
but
course.
it's a really nice fete to go to. You see some of the nicest women in that fete,
There's some beautiful ladies down that way.
but they're not from Point 14.
I am from Point 14.
No, I said,
sir.
but they are not the nice women you see in that fete, not from Point 14.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised.
But
You know, like myself, sometimes, you know, you might lay your head in Chagonas, you might lay your head in Port of Spain, you might lay your head in the West, but you're from Point,
Yeah.
you know, so...
But I'm from the east.
Yes.
I from the northeast.
Indeed.
Originally.
Indeed.
Yeah. And they don't have that kind of body down up there.
Mm-mm.
But today is a nice day, very sunny evening
Yeah.
in Port of Spain. I don't know what it is like in other parts of Trinidad and Tobago, of course. Good evening to our friend who told me that he goes down to Ikakas on evenings, open his vantry and sit down by the beach listening to us. Good evening, my good friend. And he's been listening to me in particular since in the days Rum Shop Talk and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So that is one of my great fans, and I want to say good evening to him. You know who you are. So this evening there are a lot to talk about, and certainly we will, dive into it at very in a short while, right? But you are what are you into? I mean, maybe tell the public a little bit about yourself and what you do, because you've been here before already.
Yes.
But you were known as the AI guy then. I don't know if AI is still a thing.
I am still very much an AI guy, but there's a flip side to AI.
Mhm.
So the problem I have faced is that Trinidad and Tobago, whether professionals or companies, for whatever reason, were not quite ready to take action on AI as yet.
Mhm.
So sometimes you're crying wolf in the wilderness,
Mhm.
and that is what that ended up being. So where I went to is I say, you know what? Between now and whenever Trinidad and Tobago the business decides to take AI seriously, I am going to take AI seriously.
But
So-
we missed a golden opportunity, not just with AI, but COVID.
Oh yeah.
COVID led us to a place where we went for a short while, and we turned back.
We turned
I
down.
don't know why, but
Fear.
you know,
Fear and an inability for business leadership to embrace change.
yeah, because you see, in Trinidad and Tobago, managers and businesses we still manage in the 19th century to a large extent.
To a large extent.
And we still want to micromanage our staff. We still want to see them. We still want to know where they are at any given point in time. So the most productive organizations in the world, like Google and Facebook and Meta and all these places, their staff, they don't necessarily have to see the staff. They have the most productivity. They make the most money. I mean, we haven't gone that way. We haven't found a way to go that way. We still have a trust problem with workers, and so much so that I was looking at a report from the Auditor General, which talks about the fact that the government would have spent $1.79 billion on contract workers last year, and that tells us something about where we're going and where we, not just where we're going, but our understanding of the system and why we need to manage people different. Clearly, we have some problems in Trinidad and Tobago with productivity, and clearly we have some problems in Trinidad and Tobago with management and understanding the difference between management and leadership. But that is something we will discuss at length, maybe today or some other time. But you were saying that AI is probably the way to go now.
AI is no longer an option. It's a non-negotiable for any business that's serious about being around in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was telling you is that as much as I am still helping organizations with AI adoption,
Mm-hmm.
I started my own organization that is AI first and tech centric. It is Atlas Caribbean, so we're Atlas Caribbean Corporate Services Limited.
Mm-hmm.
And the flip side of this is, so we all concerned about the economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We now live in the world, and that's a different part about where we are now, where somebody could stay in Trinidad and Tobago, run a multinational.
Mm-hmm.
A man could run a multinational in his living room or his bedroom or whatever the case is.
That is true.
It's a matter of how you configure your organization in
That
terms of where you're incorporated, how your business, how your accounts go,
That is
where
so true.
entities, etc. So I don't think we will ever have a brain drain again.
Well,
We
it
now
should-
live in a world where there's something
Yeah.
called circular migration.
Yeah, a man could be working Google or Meta and be in Trinidad and just on the beach only.
Well, this
doing
is what
that.
I was about to tell you, Mr. Matheson. There are, and I mean, we are going towards being it as well. There is such a thing as an employer of record. And once you are an employer of record, it means that you can facilitate Trinidad and Tobago workers working abroad but remaining fully compliant in Trinidad and Tobago. And I will tell you the magic. In the United States, demand is so high for the same Trinidad and Tobago workers that we say we have a productivity problem with. Why do they go and they work virtually in other companies that are based in other places and they excel to the point that they are asked for by name? Can we get a Trinidadian worker?
No, well, the thing is, it's not the worker, you know.
Yeah,
It's the management understanding of the use of the worker.
correct.
So it's not so much the worker. I mean, every organization, even if you look at HR and analog HR,
Yes.
right?
Analog HR.
Yeah, I call it analog HR.
Correct thing to
because
call it,
even
yes.
if you look at analog HR, because we still are digital yet.
Yes.
But even if you look at analog HR, you'll understand that every worker, right, have a identity in the workplace. And therefore, if you just understand how to develop that culture in the workplace where for productivity you understand how to not just manage that worker but lead that worker, then you would have less of a problem when you consider a person working online or working from home and that kind of thing. That is not something, that's not an issue. You just develop these systems, and you talking AI, but AI can show you how to do that. That's not hard to do. And in fact, you may not even need the amount of workers you think you need right now, physically, right? Even if you're in a labor-intensive kind of workplace organization.
Well, I will tell you, sir, that I feel like this is an area where, as much as you know, I do some level of HR consulting and those types of situations that we've collaborated in the past.
Mhm.
I feel like I have a lot to learn when it comes to managing these systems that you're describing here.
Mhm.
And if it is that I don't have it under control as somebody who knows a little better,
Mhm.
I think a lot of business owners out here right now are struggling with embracing those systems. And maybe somebody like yourself could be of greater assistance if those people out there are willing to be helped. And I mean, definitely, as I tell you, I know a thing or two, as you know, and I also struggle as a leader in my organization.
But again, because we grew up in a culture, talking about managers and leaders, and trying to we grew up in a culture where we think that we have to see people. People have to be there to do certain things. It's difficult. It's like trying to teach an old man cell phone technology and how to use a cell phone efficiently and effectively. It's the same thing, the same problem we have in transitioning from the analog HR to the
Yes.
digital HR.
Yes.
Right? It's the same problem. And I don't know, but people need to start, and that is the professionals, the HR professionals. As a matter of fact, they do really, for whatever reason, boy. I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
Management or upper management, the boardroom don't really see HR as very important, maybe just as an administrative tool in the organization until something happens.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to call in an HR professional like myself or somebody. Then you realize how disjointed the organization is as it relates to HR. So that too needs addressing before we even come to the point where we move from analog HR to that digital HR we're talking about, and AI and that kind of thing. Because to me, that is important, very important if you want true productivity in Trinidad and Tobago. And it's with everything, not just what we call HR management, but it's with everything in the organization.
Mr. Matheson, what I want to point out to you is that so you are an experienced company owner.
Mm-hmm.
Even perhaps before you were professional of the note of professional that you are, you were always business minded. And that comes with certain chops that people can't spell the name, but they're brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Are you suggesting I can't spell my name, but I'm brilliant?
We'll check the spelling just now and see if you have it under control. But I suspect you have it under control. We have some of our most astute business people. They're so hot with the books and things. But it doesn't change that they're brilliant. Similar to me, I cut from a similar cloth. I think part of the problem is the self-image of professionals. So they go to school and they earn the qualifications, you know, but they never put on their thinking caps. They can tell you what's in the textbook, but they can't stand up and bat the way you and I could stand up and bat in a company.
Well, that is while that might be so, brilliance and success isn't how much money you have or how much nice cars or how much businesses you have. Doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't really define success.
It doesn't.
Right? When success, defining success is relative to what you're trying, what area you're in. Right? Because you might be successful in one area which only requires you. But when you run a big business that requires the synergistic management of a whole lot of people, right? We talking leadership, which is what will define how successful you become. Because leadership and management is two different things, right? Once you could motivate people to do things probably even greater than you could do, right? And in collective, you are able to do greater things, bigger things, things that defines help and adjustments to lives and greater lives and that kind of thing. Then sometimes you can attribute that to success. One has to understand that it is how you lead people to do big things. Those are some of the things that will define how successful you become over time. People mustn't know just you as a successful person. People must know your organization. People must know the people working with you as success oriented, as opposed to that one man kind of show kind of thing. Nah.
They don't teach it in school and they don't teach it in HR school. Is
Well,
either the HR
Well, I don't know.
professional
I don't
has
know
it,
if I don't know if the
or they
teachers
don't
in
have
the HR school that I went to, because I don't ever talk about an organization and about people without first talking about where that organization want to go and how that organization intend to get there and how that cascades down into the people. So when we talk about things like strategic planning and that kind of thing, we say that you can't do a strategic plan without your cleaner, without the smallest people in your organization, all the veins and arteries of your organization, understanding where you need to go, your strategic objective, how you need to get there, and what role they themselves play to be able to get there. If your cleaner don't understand why she have to clean in the evening, your organization it make no sense. If your every employee don't understand or don't know the vision and the mission of your organization, you're going nowhere. So some people do things like strategic plan and they don't even know the evening management don't even know what is the vision and what is the mission, where they want to go. But they just do it for doing its sake because the organization say you have to do one and they do it.
So for the benefit of the listening public, I will share the anecdote about when John F. Kennedy went to NASA.
Mm-hmm.
He went to NASA before the first moon mission.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked the janitor, "Sir, what do you do here?" The janitor said, "I'm helping put a man on the moon."
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
If everybody not on that same mission.
If everybody not on that same mission, then you're wasting time.
Correct.
A chain is as strong as its weakest link.
Correct.
And that is something I always take to be very serious.
Yes.
If everybody in the organization are working synergistically,
Yes.
then you will have some problems down the road.
Yeah.
You'll have a weak or you'll have a sour organization. You'll have an organization very toxic with people in it very toxic, and I know of a lot of them like that. I am around some of those kind of organizations. So it is sad that people today calling themselves leaders, calling themselves managers, they don't understand those basic things.
It is, and I mean, sir, in all candor to you, I'm growing my company, and I think that as much as I know better in certain regards, I have more misses than hits when it comes to good people. Fortunately, and big up my hardworking staff. I have a few people who are really holding the course and doing good things, but I have burn out there, and I know a lot of it is my fault. And one of the things that we have to do as leaders is point the finger at ourselves first, when we're not really embracing the concepts of leadership and not really handling it in a particular manner. And that honesty with yourself is the first step to every business owner out there.
Correct.
You have to be willing to put up the mirror to yourself.
All right. So this program is the Third Empires for those who are listening to us for the first time. And this program, we talk about what is in the news. We try to analyze the news. We try to bring some kind of clarity to some of the things you read in the news, better to you and the people. And we analyze both teams. We usually call the baton side the government, and that's the government in office. And we call the opposition the bowling side. Mm-hmm. And so that is the whole game of cricket there. And we look at some of the things that both sides do, and we determine whether runs are being placed on the board or not. We determine when a man get bowled out. We determine, that kind of thing. Same so a man get bowled out. What do you think about our good friend Philip Alexander?
Philip Alexander. I want to believe the brother heart in the right place.
Yeah.
And the gentleman's brand of politics, and politics is a game, and sometimes we forget that. The man's brand of politics is excellent to fight an election. But you have to be careful with your demeanor and your delivery when it comes to the issue of governance. And I feel like a lot of the country finds it hard to reconcile the trouble he's find himself in, personal and also public, with what they expect of a sitting politician as opposed to a campaigning politician.
But he wouldn't say he's found himself in any trouble. I mean, he isn't behaving like he's found himself in any trouble.
Sure he hasn't.
As a matter of fact, maybe he's thinking that certain things will blow away, but I saw some things recently and I kind of worried.
Well, that is interesting. And I mean, we have to appreciate that the sitting government has a different way of doing things.
You remember relator? Really, who said that, boy? I think I'm trying to remember who say if your woman have a baby,
Yes.
and that
Or they
baby,
carry it there.
if your woman have a baby, right?
Yes.
And that baby look like the neighbor,
Yes.
that is environmental.
The environmental.
Yeah. But if your wife have a baby and that baby look like you,
Yeah.
that is hereditary.
That's hereditary.
So, I want to start there.
So
I just say
it shouldn't have happened so. Oh God.
I wonder.
I'm quite sure.
I asking
Just
somebody.
say it
No,
for what
listen,
it is.
listen,
It
listen.
shouldn't have happened
I
so.
asking somebody what that conversation
Yeah.
must be like, boy.
Boy, that's
For that
tough.
to happen, boy.
Tough, God.
What that conversation must be like.
Yeah.
I just saying because I know the individual and
Yeah.
I know the parties very well.
Mm-hmm.
And they say a black woman could make any kind of child.
Any kind.
Well, that was a good example, boy.
So
But I hear no denial.
and I mean, why deny it?
But I
It is-
just
it is-
saying,
it-
I hear.
it
But,
is what it
but,
is.
but maybe the public could tell us because they listening and hearing the same thing we hearing.
Hey, I mean the surrounding issues. The court obviously not secure. If a family issue ends up in the public domain and an official court document ends up in the public domain that way.
No,
Which is-
that's not court. That's not court issue. I mean, that could be the person, one of the parties who put it up.
It could be.
Yeah, that's not something that
Could be.
you could blame the court for. That
Right.
becomes public when that is issued to you.
At this moment, and I mean we cannot underplay the issue of leaked public documents, especially when the parties say we didn't leak it.
Well,
Because-
they're not leak pub. I mean,
Forget that issue for the moment.
them things that be determined in an open court, you know.
The court of public opinion, quite correct. However,
No, not the court of public, in the courthouse.
so what I'm saying to you is, at least my understanding of it, is this is a family court issue.
Mhm.
And there should be, if we trace it back up to Privy Council and all, there should be an expectation
Mm-hmm.
of a right to private and family life. That is at the Privy Council, under
Well,
the
you
Human Rights
don't know.
Act.
One party might have want that to get out. I don't know, but
Maybe, but the point I'm making to you, forget that for a second and whatever the facts are there. Donald J. Trump
Mhm.
has the IRS in court because for whatever reason, his tax return became public information. And he carried the government to court,
Mhm.
and it is said that the government can win that lawsuit and they will be paying Trump
Okay.
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, but
in restitution.
will his tax situation go away?
But it's
No.
it's not relevant.
No, but his tax situation wouldn't go away,
No, it's just
Right.
it's just no public record.
right? So
You
the
know?
same thing with this situation.
With this situation, let's say somebody argues that, okay, the two parties involved didn't leak it. How does our snaps of an official court document end up in the public domain? And then let us also now speak about this police officer who lost a civil action on that case just this week, where certain things, no, those guys won their civil action, where something in the station end up in the public domain, and those gentlemen were ordered to receive 500,000
That was
plus.
that was the situation where they said that I think a man was with a man.
A
or
man
something.
was with a man or some kind of
Yeah,
madness. So we hope that, and I mean that is the wider civic issue, that we hope that our institutions respect the privacy of people. When it comes to the situation, I would just say blanket, and it could be said without fear of contradiction. Our good friend Mr. Alexander needs to learn to behave a little better, because he is now a representative of the government, and I believe that. And when we take calls, I think we will hear how the public feels about it.
When I say behave a little better, I mean in relation to the situation. Behave a little better.
Across the board.
Oh, you
Whether
mean-
we're talking about how he handles the political rhetoric, or how he handles his personal affairs, if it is he's being accused of parking in a handicap spot, etc., etc., etc. What we want is that the government is able to settle into a rhythm without the public being like, hey, look, Philip, look what Philip do, which is a problem.
Talking tongue in cheek here, he parked in a handicap spot because
Earlier, a scandal from earlier in the year, or a quasi-scandal or something they tried to make into a scandal.
They was talking about something else, you know, when they say he parked in a handicap spot.
Oh, no. No. Oh, God. If you know, you know, yes? If you know, you know.
I just saying.
You're just saying.
I don't know if the man really parked in a handicap spot, but I thought when I heard it, I think Kiesel, was it Kiesel?
It had pictures. I know. Both ways it had pictures.
Maybe the callers could tell us. 3420081
Lord.
or 4665391. You can call us and we could talk about whether it was a handicap spot you really park in or it emanated from something else.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so that's just, I mean, as we were saying that you know, you wouldn't want to. Philip Alexander is new to. He has to transition
From electoral
from
to
that kind
governance.
of electoral, kind of social media, kind of activist kind of thing
Yes.
to governance, and he's trying to do both of them still, but he's not alone in that respect. You have other people who do it, right? And
But he is
does
the
the same
usual
thing.
suspect, eh?
Well,
He is the usual suspect.
but he is very, very out there, and people are seeing him, and people are sometimes becoming very incised by some of the things he says, and that's creating some other problems for him, because things that you would want to keep private, they are now taking it and making you know, a really, really shit show out of it, and that that is unfortunate.
So let me ask your opinion, sir. Do you believe that him specifically can rise to the occasion and become way more diplomatic in how he does things, or you feel like he will stay into his current provocateur? He's a provocateur.
No, I think.
Do you think he will put down the provocateur role and become the administrator role, or you think that he will?
I have seen people.
Hold the
I've seen people mature and grow in political life.
Yes.
A day in politics is, you know, is a whole lot. But also in Trinidad and Tobago, people have very short memories.
You do?
And when you start to do bad things, people forget all the good things you do,
Yes.
and vice versa.
Indeed.
So things could change. I mean, somebody was telling me last night, that fellow was a guy who they had admired immensely when he was not in government, when he was just talking. Because to them, he used to make a lot of sense. And to me, he used to make a lot of sense. I was attracted and drawn to, well, not drawn to Philip, but I was attracted by some of the things he said and, you know, how he operated when COVID broke. And we became very good friends. And because he shared some of the same kind of ideals like I did, and we spoke a lot. At the time, we were neutral, and yeah. But he was always brave to go out and allow him to say certain things, and he got a lot of lawsuits and that kind of thing. But I guess the guy had money. I mean, if you can only talk so if you have plenty money.
But I would, you know, You know, sometimes you want somebody good, and then you want somebody not good again. And then when you want them not good again, you are the worst to say about them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think real people does get on so. It had a time, sir, where I proudly used to have my white Jericho Project jersey on.
Mm-hmm.
That is when me and Brian Puchet and Catherine Stallmeyer and all these people used to be all over the place doing things to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same Philip Alexander put together that. And I remember I had on my Jericho jersey in Jericho Project jersey. Like, politics was the furthest thing from my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I wear my Jericho Project jersey in point. Well, boy, mistake. Everybody, I guess I give my good PNM friend and them, they put me right down for wearing that man jersey. And me and the man don't really pull again. But
You and Philip Double?
no, not really, no. But compared to how well I knew him at a point, me and Philip don't pull at all. But
Philip remains my good friend. I mean, I don't really...
I will never. That is the thing. If you and somebody was good and you and somebody not good again, if you're real, you will be grateful for the good times and you will always give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, it's not benefit of the doubt. I have no reason to
Yes.
not be Philip's friend. I mean, the man has been, he and I has been good friend. He haven't done anything to me. Too. If I had to tell Philip, I'd advise him in private how to handle his stories and do his business.
I think it's just a matter of changing posture for your office.
Mm-hmm.
He still has, you hit the nail on the head, he is still activist Philip.
Mm-hmm.
And activist Philip cannot sit in junior minister or minister in the ministry of office.
Well, he has to transition.
Has the transition.
And everybody, a lot of people, half the people in government now was activists too. They were talking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the transition. You
Yeah.
hear them, some of them even hearing them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how you have to operate. Just let your work
Speak for
itself.
Yeah.
Let your work speak for you. But I don't know if he was actually put there to do work, or if he was just there to, do what he doing. So all of those things are things that you have to examine.
I seen signs that the Ministry of Housing is working.
Yeah.
Generally speaking,
Listen,
I don't think
the chairman of the board there is a man no stick, He just work.
Yeah.
It had to happen with him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying that things not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
In that particular ministry or that particular corporation, HEC.
Yes.
But clearly they have some work to do.
Correct.
Right? That being said, the other thing, crime seems to be still a problem plaguing Trinidad and Tobago. You saw what happened with the policewoman 2 weeks ago almost.
Mm-hmm.
And what are coming out now, so much so that the police service, the government and the police service is distinguishing between the regional corporation and the not the regional corporation but the municipal police and the TTPS.
They have to.
And while I say they have to, I mean the normal public people a long time you used to call borough police and think market police.
Mm-hmm.
Because you only used to see them in the market.
Yes.
But they are the same, they wear the same uniform, they look the same, they drive the same kind of vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
They are police, in my opinion.
They are police.
So,
But you know who else are police?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody under the Supplemental Police Act.
Yes, I know that too.
Yeah.
I know that too. So, but what happened there, even if, you might say that they are different, clearly they had all the trappings of a real police officer, and therefore certain kinds of checks and balances and accountability should have been in place to prevent something like that from happening.
Yes.
So it is not difficult to say that cannot happen in the real TTPS, as they seems to be trying to distinguish the difference between, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago in Sawa, some I think it was some Rasta run in a police station and chop up some police and thing. That was on the when the police station used to be like, yeah, that was some years ago. I remember that good.
It's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. But the thing is, in general, police officers you seem to have a high propensity, maybe a large group of them that are, I would say, dangerous to the police service.
If I say
or
something,
the image of the police service.
If I say something crazy to you, like the police problem is an HR problem, you would agree with that or disagree with it?
You don't be listening to our program.
I haven't listened to it recently.
No, we just say that all the time here.
Yeah.
The problem there is they have a HR problem.
Yeah.
You know, how you recruit, how you train, how is the general quality of the organization. All those things can be changed. That is HR.
Yeah.
Right? And how you recruit people. If the premier crime fighting agency in Trinidad and Tobago is the TTPS, then in a modern country like, or a country operating in a sphere of an influence where modern technology and everything can influence us to some extent, then we should have a different kind of training. We should have people right up there who can do certain things and influence certain things in the police service to bring about the right kind of change and to have the right kind of people. So your training, is first your recruitment, your onboarding, your training, your managing of performance, your everything, HRD, everything, have to be in sync with that kind of high performance, high efficiency organization that you should want as the police service.
So I will go back to last year when I was working closely with the police service on a pilot basis to start the AI conversation in the police service. And one of the things that came out of that exercise was a cultural issue where, and again, it's that organizations don't grow over time. Informally, you as an officer need to have a bit of clout or a bit of rank or a little bit of pull for the computer, because remember we have limited computers in the stations. For the computer to be a normal thing you have access to. But I'm not here to tell anybody or the listening public that one special person could use the computer and another special person can use the computer. But I would tell you without fear of contradiction, in many stations.
One special, say that special police officers, like special children.
What you have is, you have little cultural nuances within a station. So on paper, there's no policy like this. But in practice, well, boy, what's going on with you? Who tell you could use the computer? Nothing formal about our policy, you know. But somebody may go away with the idea, well, maybe the computer is not for me. You know? So now you have. So when I did that program, and I mean big up to the Tobago division. I mean Tobago division, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best classes that I ever had as it relates to that AI situation. When I showed them how much you could do with your phone, they were like, now some of them of course are up on it, they were up with the latest technology, but a lot of them, this was new to them. I didn't know this. I didn't know I could apply my phone to police it. So it tells you that there's a technology gap that has to fill, and that has to be filled strategically. How do we as a country and as a Ministry of National Security carry our country from analog policing to full digital policing? And it's something that requires a level of deliberateness that I think is being contemplated, but rolling it through, how much people the police service have in it? A few thousand. Yeah? Deploying that across an organization with that many bodies in it.
Well, I am so surprised to hear you say something like this because, but it is really indicative to what we are, the results we are seeing, right? Because, you know, when I was talking here a couple of weeks ago, and you were saying that when a policeman stop you, in a car on a highway or something in any part of outside of Trinidad and Tobago, they ain't just stopping you because they feel to stop you. They're stopping you with information. And most of the time, the information right on the dashboard or on the screen or something, right? When you get...
Let me tell you the problem now. When you don't have, because the elements of the TTPS that are technology powered are fairly insane, eh? Them fellas running on James Bond level.
And what happened?
There's no democracy in how that data is used. So perhaps the decision makers have access to the data, hopefully.
Well, it looked like...
Certain officers have access to the data, but the average police, because somewhere in some random, our police station in Capdeville, big up Capdeville, point 14 week. Big up Capdeville.
Listen, we're going for a break.
Yeah.
Pay some bills. We had to pay some bills.
Yes.
But when we come back, we will continue this conversation. We will invite you, the callers, to participate. So,
you've got
we take a break.
And so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Peace of God be multiplied unto you in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is Redemption Hour, a gospel program where God will reveal His mind to you on how to live a fulfilled life and to please Him in all areas. Join Pastor Femi Afolabi, the National Overseer of Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Trinidad and Tobago, and other seasoned ministers for a time of divine encounter as they minister and pray for you every Saturday by 9 o'clock in the morning of this station, Street FM 91.9. Our church is Deeper Life Bible Church, number 1 Cochrane Street, opposite Tunapuna Police Station, Tunapuna. The times of our services are as follows: Sunday worship service, 9 a.m., Monday Bible study, 6 p.m., Thursday revival hour, 6 p.m. The redemption hour is a life-changing moment you cannot afford to miss. For special prayer or counseling, contact Pastor Femi Afolabi on 778-9933. God bless you as you listen to this program. Jesus is Lord.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. The big nation, cause you don't know we were the crown. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our vibe, and let we join together, because KFC is life. It's a big D.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Wrap up your Thursday the right way. Twister Thursdays. 2 twisters for just $54.95. Loaded, saucy, finger-licking good. One bite, and you know, it must be KFC. Order now. Follow KFC Trinidad and Tobago WhatsApp channel for all the deals.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
She's done it all for you. Nurse,
Chef.
Mom, I could borrow.
Always helping you out in a crunch. Yup, Mom is that girl. And KFC's helping you show her just how lucky you are with a Quartz shopping spree with $10,000. Buy a Lucky 7 bucket for just $99. Upload your receipt to KFC's DMs and you could hook Mom up with a $10,000 Quartz shopping spree. Plus, more treats to spoil her. From a sparkation to stylish reflexer eyewear. Show Mom she is that girl with KFC. Promotion ends Friday, 8th May. Approved by the NLCB.
TechFlex TT Limited, the #1 computer store in Trinidad and Tobago, has all your tech needs. We have the latest computers, powerful MacBooks, and affordable Chromebooks for school and work, providing new and refurbished options to suit everyone's budget. Also, we carry a variety of printer options and ink solutions for your home and office needs. Need repairs done? Our experienced technicians can solve your tech problems. Visit us now at any of our 2 locations, Wilson Road, Scarborough, next to Royal Castle, or Penco Street, Montrose, Chagonas. Call 235-4919 for more info. TechFlex TT Limited. Affordable tech. Exceptional service.
Is a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make it like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we have joining us our third umpire, our third female umpire, Dr. Sandy Ford. She's here with us, and she certainly looks good today. A lot of guys have been calling her.
Doesn't she always?
No. She looks good all the time. But what I'm saying is, we have a running thing going, and there are some people who just be looking forward to seeing her. But I know they ain't seen her good today at the moment. But
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I want to take this time to caution you as a guest.
Yeah. Right. But Simoya, Mr. Janus.
Yes.
Right. So Mr. Janus joined us today, and he certainly, I knew him as the AI man.
Still the AI man.
Right? But he's a practitioner also, as you know. Right. And we were just discussing some of the issues that we have, not only with the police service, but with Trinidad and Tobago, right, understanding and management and leadership. And we were talking largely about the missed opportunity that COVID would have presented, and how much we did not take advantage of that,
right,
as Trinidad and Tobago management and leadership. And the role that we should be playing as trying to get a more productive economy in terms of having people produce more efficiently and effectively. Okay. But so that was along the lines of where we were going with the discussion. We were also looking at the fact that crime still seems to be a problem in Trinidad and Tobago.
Absolutely.
I saw the guy who would have killed his wife and his child was sentenced to, that was one of the quickest sentencing in a long time. He was sentenced to hang. He was sentenced to the death penalty, that is. But we still hang in Trinidad and Tobago. What do you think about that, Mr. AI man?
We know you're not going to hang.
if you could say that. He
No,
ain't gonna hang.
no, we know what the law is and we know what the playbook is for attorneys. So they just have to run out the clock. So let's just not forget that nobody's been hanged since Dole and Company.
Very
Since
good
Dole and them
point.
get hung, nobody get hung.
No.
They didn't have get hang somebody.
Nope.
No.
The man who killed the people in Westmoreland.
Nope.
That was before Dole and them.
Yep.
Oh. Wow. That's a long time, boy.
That's a long time. So we have Pratt and Morgan that continues to be something people depend on to avoid the hangman.
Yeah, and that 5-year threshold.
Yeah, I don't think it's 5 years, a little longer than that. But the point of the matter is the wheels of justice turn slowly. And that is also an HR issue. That's also a tech issue. It's a systems issue. I'll tell you something. You put a competent AI implementation person in the judiciary and give them carte blanche for a year, and you will start getting hangings happening on a fairly regular basis because people will not be able to run out the clock. The trial process will run faster. At the moment, a lot of it is still manual, and that's not blaming anybody.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of our system. And it allows, now the real question, I don't think the question is really if we hanging people or not. The question is, will fast hangings, let's say they're hanging 5 years, or let's say the government legislates to, or attempts to legislate to make Pratt and Morgan have less effect, because the fact of the matter is the US gives lethal injections sometimes after 30 or 40 years.
I was now going to ask about that. The lethal injection. I mean, now this is not to necessarily promote it, but we talking about hangman, which is since Jesus was a little boy.
just before we came on, I was listening to the program before us.
Yes.
Where somebody was saying maybe the state shouldn't be paying to hang nobody. The person to whom or the family to whom you would have the stress, right? To cause you to get hanged. Make you a slave. And if they choose to kill you, they kill you. So I just saying, but
that's the comment. That's the
that was our comment. That was our conversation. I was listening earlier on.
So I look forward to, and I mean it may sound a little judgmental, but at the risk of sounding judgmental, I feel like sometimes we are not a high-minded society.
When I say high-minded,
I think that we do not take modern and reasonable approaches to societal issues. So as far as anybody concerned...
So you're saying hanging shouldn't be? That shouldn't be a part of our...
Let me answer that question a different way. Some of the safest and best, according to the UN Human Development Index, countries to live in the world,
Holland and Norway and them kind of places,
they do not even observe life sentences. Yeah?
Okay.
As far as they're concerned, nobody is beyond redemption.
Well,
now, we're probably going to lock you up and throw away the key.
Well, here what?
You know, but the point of the matter is, we saying on paper, we will still review and see if maybe we can let you go sometime in the future.
Them things for societies.
And killing you is not even on the table.
Them things for societies where the kind of things that is happening shouldn't that do happen. Right? So the moment them kind of things, those kind of things start happening, that whole psychology will change. Let me just say this. The thing is, we haven't understood what are the real true underlying cause of these kind of activities, these kind of killings, these kind of... What will make you grow up, your mother a real nice best child boy, and you grow up to be a killer. What would make you grow up to be a killer? What did they do? What in your socialization brought you to the point where you could just go and rob a man? A man person you don't know, you never see before, and beat him up and kill him and tie him and burn him up in a car or chop out his head and all that kind. What would make you do that?
Okay, so I'm not a criminologist, but I feel like as an umpire, I deserve a little opinion.
Well, that's what we're here for. I would love to hear it.
All right. So on one end, you have the criminally insane. There are people who are, for whatever reason. So, for instance, it has no explanation for Sean Luke. Yeah? two young boys just decide to trip off and kill a child in a cane field. Those are, if you look at the landscape of criminality globally, they're just some psycho people. They rear their ugly head, they do their crimes, they get caught, they don't get caught. We have to be grateful that we catch them on the first crime. Because if they didn't get picked up with, those would have been serial killers. Some argue that we may already have serial killers in our midst, which is another one story.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah? On the other side of it, you have, and this is our major problem, our society is deeply inequitable. Has been deeply inequitable. We have driven the development of our underclass.
Correct.
We've driven the development of a subculture.
Correct.
And that subculture, as far as they're concerned, they don't really have a place in the world that consultants and lawyers and accountants and, even tradesmen, whatever the case is, whatever you do, there's a portion of the society, the majority, the vast majority, who get up every day and go and do something productive and collect the little money and spend it as best as they could, and they live correctly. And there's another section of society for whom that don't make no sense. It doesn't work. And every day we see them, right?
Correct.
When we on our way to work, somebody now by the rum shop. Yeah? So, that underclass that has become more and more bold and more brazen over the years, they have to be employed as well. And their employment is, somebody say, boy, here what's going on? So, how to get, whole of $5,000. It's not Kaiser Soze or Jason Bourne or John Wick we dealing with, We have two literal $2 shooters with no issue. They will sit down on the block for 72 hours, eat a plate of food. There are people who are doing very well living in the underclass, and make no mistake, there are people catching the tail in the underclass. But that is just where they live. We have to create, let me just say this before you go on, sir. We have to create the society where the least among us can live a comfortable life doing the honest thing. And I feel like a section, and it's the same section that causing the problems in our society right now. A section of our society believes they have no place in lawful society. They have gone to the underground economy, and this is where our shooters and our bandits come from.
But you hit the nail on the head, and which is what I have been saying for quite some time. And what you're saying, you're speaking truth to the reality of what's happening, and you're correct. The thing is, there are people who feel that they are out of the normal economy, and they have to survive too. So if the normal economy don't feel like they care about me, then I will do what I had to do to survive. These are people who really feel so. And the other thing is, even in the normal economy, there are people who feel that they just can't get justice for certain things.
Of course.
Things not working, the wheels of justice turning too slow. It's cheaper to put a man who do something, to pay somebody to put him out, to send him home, than to go and pay a lawyer to get a situation dealt with. So it are people who will deal with you like that, right? Without even touching you. Right? They pay somebody because, as you say, that $2 killers. Right? So, and them coming, them see no face and all that kind of thing. Them just coming and do a job. So we had to understand in Trinidad and Tobago, if we just see crime as in a very simplistic way, that it is just miscreants, it's just people just doing all kind of evil things and they don't care about nothing, which is why I open like that. Then you're very wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Right?
Lots of reasons.
You know, the real, it is a derivative of all the things, the shortfalls and the shortfalls in society, all the things that society is actually creating this kind of situation for us.
I'm asking a provocative question now. A gentleman, I can't remember his name, and if I did, I wouldn't call it. Developing a little piece of land in South the other day, a well-known guy. And somebody runs up on the gentleman and guns him down on his construction site. is the person who was hired to go and shoot that person the victim or the aggressor?
Well, he certainly mightn't be the aggressor, because if he is a third party and he don't know what went on between the man who get killed and the man who
hire him,
Yeah.
right? He might be a victim.
So, and I mean, I will go.
I just say.
I will go a step further.
Mhm.
There are members of the underworld, let's call them that way, that are living very well. You know, there are some of them that live in high-rise apartments. Some of them that live very uptown, very west, whatever the case is. Places you wouldn't expect a gunman to live. It are gunmen living in them spaces. And it also have gunmen who didn't have breakfast.
Correct.
And they have no money in their pocket today right now.
But I have a gun.
Huh?
They have a gun and some bullets.
No, but remember,
we
we live in different circumstances. You and I probably don't know, unless you know you have it on your sir. But you and I probably don't know where to find a gun in 5 minutes. But in the underground economy, we just know where the guns is. So if it doesn't matter, you had to get a gun dirty or clean to go and shoot somebody because you're looking to make a $2,000. And these are literal realities. So is the man who's saying, boy, rather than go to the high court to deal with this fella concerning this land that I believe I should have, let me get one of these stupid young boy to go and put some corn in him.
but
Wow.
that real.
That's the
that
life we live in.
That's real.
That real. That
Yeah.
happened.
So
Yes, say nothing there. That's
and-
why you gotta be so careful now
Yes.
how you deal with certain situations.
That's right.
Right? And sometimes even when people do your wrong things,
Yeah.
sometimes in this kind of society we live in, sometimes it drives you to even think that way.
Yeah.
Because I not see Moya. You not see Moya mightn't think so. Moya might turn the next cheek.
Yeah.
But have people who not turning no next
That's
cheek.
right.
Right?
That's right.
It have people who not turning no next cheek.
Yeah.
People who will watch you and say, okay. And tomorrow
whatever
somebody
happened
send you
after
home.
that?
They even know how you go. Nobody even know how you went home.
Police are yet to establish a motive.
Wow.
Right?
And we see it in the papers every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is, I mean, you gotta be so careful in life where these days.
Thank you.
It's just amazing.
That goes for everyone because
Yeah.
you remember the situation with the nurse that was killed. And I saw a comment on Facebook saying it have ghetto justice. Right? We ain't going and wait for police to find the shooter. We will deal with things. I saw that comment
Exactly.
myself. There are people who will do that.
And you know, some of us live in communities where we know how easy it is to do
That's
that.
right.
It's a different ecosystem. You know the man who don't have, and you gotta keep. Remember, these are humans, eh?
Yeah.
And sometimes we dehumanize little black boys.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah?
next thing.
You are 18, 19 years old. You never hear nothing sensible in your life. You're high out of your mind 24/7. You're
Punching.
hungry and you're broke.
Yeah.
I have no money. And you know what? The little badges, the little Jordan, the little gold chain,
Yeah.
wherever the case is, that make you, because your self-esteem in the toilet. So you looking not to build your self-esteem by what you know or what
Yeah.
you could do, but you're building your self-esteem by what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody watching you and seeing you for what you are and send message for you, go and put some bullet in such and such and such and come and check my for 5,000. I put it to Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean and the world, that in our society, and it doesn't mean that that person who put that bullet in, that person have to pay, you know. If we hold him, lost him in jail, try to hang him. I'm not against that. We have to embrace as a society that we created the environment in which a young person doesn't feel like they have a place. Like they can't work to make it. And we have to work together. And maybe that is also rethinking how we do our prisons.
And you know,
Rethinking how we do our justice system. Rethinking how we do our training system. Because if it is we don't change the paths, we're going to go down instead of up.
correct. This man
That's a good
preaching real
perspective.
language, right? Nobody.
That's a good perspective. I'm still saying that it starts at home, it starts in the schools as well. amidst all that you have said, to me, that belongs to those youth men and them who come out of school and make their decisions in life. But for those young people who are still in school and have the opportunity, and you are seeing those things happening, tell me, what is the reason why you would avoid doing things that will not put you down that path?
But sometimes the reality for them is the same as what we just talked about. You understand where they come from. Sometimes there is a struggle.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have, they seeing certain things. They don't have certain things. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm making an excuse for them.
No,
but
I
see it and I live it.
Yeah.
And I know the reality. And we had to start examining the social issues that surrounds crime and causes people to do certain things. I'm not saying that. No, I may have a particular disposition, you too, and we might be able to do certain things. We see in life differently.
Yes.
We come out of the eggshell, and we could see the world view, and we understand what you need to do to survive, and we understand how much opportunities are around us. They don't. They're not necessarily seeing what we see, and their reality is much different from ours. So you can't just say that, well, it has so much opportunities and maybe they should take it. And they had a study. They had a study. All of us understand what the Maslow hierarchy I need. Until you can satisfy the basic, you ain't going and go to the next level.
Correct.
I hear what you're saying. And I'm not at all, I don't think you're making any excuse, because it's a reality. I have visited schools and spoken to students who said exactly that. It's just a little difficult for me to accept sometimes, because I grew up in circumstances like that. My mother was a mother at 15 years old. We saw the struggle. She had 6 of us. We didn't have any family. To today, we don't really have no set of family. And I knew the only way to come out is to get things in line. Now, I didn't get no scholarship and all of that, but I know I had to work. All I'm saying is, if you have enough sense to pick up a gun, I think you have enough sense to still try it the right way. That's all I'm saying. This is no condemnation towards anybody, but if you are sitting there and saying, well, life's so hard and nobody don't know why you're going through, but that's a lie, because you have many other people going through the same thing as you. And you are watching all of those people before you, either dead and in prison. And you are saying to yourself, well, I will go down the same thing. I'm just saying.
You're correct too. You're very correct too.
Nobody is asking you to be a scholar. But are you willing to save your life? That's all I'm saying.
So, it coming in, and I already see the precursors there. We're going to be in an umpire session a year or 2 from now.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back to this exact day. Someday in the near future, I believe, somewhere before the end of this political season, the El Salvador approach will find favor. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago,
tell us about the El Salvador approach.
Lock them away without too much trial, indefinite detention, high control incarceration techniques. And I tell you something, you want no smoke with MS-13, and MS-13 quiet right down. Because they lock up all of them. And nobody in that jail for less than 200 years. Yeah?
So the state
state have no problem with that. They get fed up. Now, from a jurisprudence, I am on my way to being an attorney myself. From a jurisprudence position, from a public law position, it is a catastrophe. It is abuse. But the governments of the day are no longer enforcing the rule of law upon countries in the Americas. So they get a free pass. Remember, it had a time when we started to see some alleged extrajudicial killings in Trinidad and Tobago. And the embassy was like,
yeah.
I call the country name, by the way. Yeah? What's going on here? And we had a cool down. Yeah? Do that again. So the solution maybe a solution that somebody has said in a meeting is that, hey, look, in El Salvador, they just lock up all the 6s and all the 7s and all the Rasta cities and all the uprisings. They just throw all of them in a cell and put on bright lights and have them stacked from ceiling to floor, and you put a gunman by the door. Every time you take them out of the cell, you lock the hand under the foot. And they
walk like that.
They have social engineering. It's social engineering. They know how to do it. And the people of El Salvador, because they know what it's like to have a monster unit like MS-13 on your streets, they take in whatever relief they could get. So my thing now is, when it comes into favor, because remember, we've been in almost a continuous state of emergency.
Yes.
Since the end of the PNM administration we are operating without a constitution right now. Somebody feeling wild, they could kick in this door and drag 3 away right now. We have no constitutional protection. We just have forbearance from the state. It's not for all year, so we're not coming for all year. Yeah? And for the first time, we're locking up whoever we say is gangsters with impunity. I am not even knocking it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But let us remember that we are going down a path where the rule of law is not the path to which somebody ends up in a cell indefinitely. And the day will come very soon where we will ask, why they even outside? Let me just lock them up and throw away the kickers. That's what El Salvador did, and they got their country back. At what cost, time will tell.
At what cost?
Yeah, but they lock up all of them, and El Salvador has 0 MS-13 problems anymore.
Well, yeah, I think that where we're going. I think that what we start doing already.
It's obvious. So the question at that time will be, will the people say, good job, or will the people say, hell no?
Human rights, all of a sudden.
And I would suggest here that if it is we are not concerned about the conditions in which we keep people in our prisons, or the fact that people are spending 20 years on remand as is, we're not going to be too concerned about the fate of the 6s and the 7s.
Correct.
We're going to lock away the 6s and the 7s without too much trial, and we're not going to lose any sleep about it. I will leave the public to decide or maybe comment on if that's a good or a bad thing.
I would love to hear their views.
I would love to hear the public's views.
So, you can call us on 342-0081-466-5391. We want to hear your comment on the discussion.
Wow.
Certainly, certainly we are talking some serious stuff here, especially as it relates to crime, and it is something that some would say already exists, or it looks like that's the direction we're headed, but I don't know.
Very good point. Very, very good point. I mean, you can't avoid the arguments from the human rights people. Oh, you can't do those things, it's human rights and all that. You can't ignore those arguments. It's gonna come. As a matter of fact, people probably may protest. Or they're too wicked. Because look what's taking place with the Zoso. That didn't come true. So what makes us really think that this is going to be a possibility? Just asking the legal mind that's here.
I mean, a Zoso is not more comprehensive than a state of emergency. A Zoso is a suspension of constitutional rights within a particular area for a particular reason.
Yeah.
So we could say Marva Road is a Zoso. And you can walk how you want here, you can associate how you want, be on off the road at a particular time, we can kick in your door, etc., etc. So the government said, and rightfully so, and the government collectively said, nah boy, because that is where it comes down to. You decide in Parliament if we're doing it or if we're not doing it. So the government and all its institutions within the Senate, they say, nah boy, we are doing this one. All right, no sin. So we on the state of emergency now, where anybody, anywhere, the police and the soldiers could act with impunity. And I don't think that they've handled that power, that freedom irresponsibly so far.
Okay.
I don't have complaints. But the fact of the matter is, we do not have the benefit of the rule of law at the moment. If they choose to snatch you up, there's no writ of habeas corpus. They can't come and say, well, boy, here we're going to take that man out. You can't go in the, and I mean, I have attorney colleagues who've complained. You have to call police legal to tell a police station, I want to see my client, because the people in the station say, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't know what station your loved one in. They carry for a ride. They say, boy, here we're going on. We in town, carry him, point and come back. Where he is, he not here. Well, where he is, I don't know. These are the things attorneys dealing with every day.
Wow.
Yeah? So, the classical theorists, when it comes to the rule of law and police powers and these sorts of things, they always sound the alarm that if the law is not protecting the most heinous criminal, it's not protecting anybody. So we have to trust the government of the day. I don't think the government of the day has given me any reason to distrust them as yet. They have continued using tools that the PNM was using, right?
You
So
know,
the
the one thing about that, I mean, I remember there was a saying, those who are, how do I say, those who are willing to give up their liberty for
security will lose both.
Yeah, you lose both.
Yeah.
Right? And you lose both your liberty.
Yeah.
And the security.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think there are better ways to do this thing.
Okay.
Right? Because clearly we have to understand in Trinidad and Tobago why people do certain things. And it is sometimes a social issue more than anything else.
More
I
than
mean,
anything,
people commit some real heinous crimes and you wonder why they do it. But you have to go back and look at all the antecedents and to understand why people do certain things, why this particular family do certain things. And I remember I always talk about it. We were doing a study at one time, probably about 10, 11 years ago, where we were looking at East Port of Spain and using East Port of Spain as a model to deal with all of Trinidad and Tobago, because what happened in East Port of Spain ended up migrating to other places, other parts of Trinidad and Tobago, and that didn't necessarily have to happen. But clearly, some of the things we discovered or we identified or we suggested in that study was never taken into consideration by the other government, which is why I have a problem with them and moral authority today to talk about crime. Right? So, you know, I see it a little differently. But I hear you in that El Salvador model.
Right.
And because I know there, even I remember when we was in Lockjack, were in Lockjack, we did a study on, I'm trying to remember, was with the Spanish lecturer, the lady who taught Spanish, and we talk about El Salvador and the kind of levels of crime in El Salvador and how what they do and what they
different
kind of if you think Jamaica and that kind of thing was bad, El Salvador was crazy.
Wow.
You have to understand LATAM crime different, and this is one of the issues we have to be very careful with in Trinidad and Tobago, because we don't want LATAM type crime coming in Trinidad and but
that's
we
a
talking
different
about
level.
Pelting man off a bridge normally, them hanging in the morning. Cutting off their head like on the way home from like, hey, I was looking for you, and go and buy a bread and go and hug up the girl normal. They don't even hide in. It's like a different level of Sicario level violence. We don't know it in Trinidad and Tobago. And one of my concerns, generally speaking, and I mean the people, big up Jonathan Bagan, he always writes on those topical issues in terms of crime and cross-border issues and whatever the case is. And Trinidad is said to have roots in Trinidad and Tobago. We're hearing stories about we have so many hardworking Venezuelans, but we have some shooters too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And they
But,
come.
but see some kind of heinous crime, and you can only deduce that.
Yeah, because that's not the quality of crime we just commit
exactly.
Yeah, we have criminals who still want to go about right after.
Yep.
Yeah,
Then doing certain things.
Yeah,
Gotten shot for sure.
Yeah, it's not that serious. cut off our boy head, send a message, man, they going through that.
That's a lot of work for you.
Yeah, a lot of work. It had to be real personal.
Yeah. That's hate there, boy. You ain't
Yeah.
want that person to live at all.
No, and I mean you have men who, I guess they go take a walk.
Like the mafia, they put it down in a hole and put in cement to just your head out alone.
All kind of shippiness. Them
and here.
Wow.
The fellas are a little different, so we don't want Latam style crime to take root in our space.
Yeah.
And I think that all of these things are probably things our hardworking people in the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Homeland Security, I think that they are paying attention to those trends and trying to do something about them.
Correct.
Yeah? So our concern, and I think for the time being, the government is attempting to, pardon the pun, arrest some level of criminality in the society, but it is coming at the expense of erosion of liberty. And we had to be mindful, at least as individuals, how much is too much.
Correct. How much is too much?
Yeah?
Correct.
For now, yeah, I can live with it. I don't know how I'll feel in a year.
I don't know why. So they didn't hear any public ball. They hear me on 3420081.
Public in traffic.
5391. Call us. We're having some very, very serious discussion here on crime and everything, the economy and everything. And maybe you should chime in. Let's hear what you have to say. You, the pavilion.
Yeah.
State of crime.
While we're waiting on them to call, how you feel about the proposed amendments to the RSB?
Well, I haven't, to be honest with you.
RSB.
To be honest with you, I haven't seen it as yet. But I remember 2 nights ago I was in my office and I had to do a proposal for one of your former clients. And I wrote counsel for your former client, one of your long-time client.
Yes.
And I told them that, I made a proposal.
Yes.
And I told them that, without prejudice, this mightn't, this may not be the same proposal if that thing gets centered, because you'll be paying double.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's serious. I've heard people say that that is practitioners who have seen it. I haven't seen it. Maybe I should. You saw it?
Yeah.
You have a copy of it?
I'll send it to you.
Right. But I've heard real practitioners say it's still not enough. Right? And maybe the employer should have a fund like Barbados, where you have a fund for something like that, for in case something like that happens. Then you would have no need to have to go through the agony when you're in a situation, a state of flux where you're closing down, you have no money, you can't pay your workers for months, things bad, people own you and they're paying you and all that kind of thing. And you had to now send people home. If you had that kind of fund, if that fund was a statutory fund, then you wouldn't have the kind of problem. You could just go to that fund or apply to that fund and have your workers be paid off.
What does this do to the competitive landscape, sir?
The competitive landscape?
How competitive
can
our... Let me tell you what...
No, wait, let me just say this.
Yeah.
I think it working in places like Barbados. Why it can't work here? The thing is, why is it we talk about the competitive landscape. Listen, when you're in business, you have natural, everyday, recurrent expenditure. And if you understand that your price is predicated on those expenditure, because you want your profit to be 20% or how much, and everything else has to fall within that. So if you have to raise your service or raise the price of your service or whatever to take care of that let that fund be part of your natural recurrent expenditure every month.
So let's talk a little AI here.
Mm-hmm.
So I run a engineering office.
Mm-hmm.
And the government takes on average 18 months to pay. Normal thing. And in addition, the economy is contracted.
Mm-hmm.
Private sector kind of slowing down because a lot of people doing the migration thing. Real estate slow, whatever the case is. Call it all depressed economic conditions. And then one day, a fella like Gerard passed through your office and talked to you about adoption ladders, create an AI council within your organization, and have some serious conversations with you. And then you realize, wait now, the work that 4 secretaries used to do.
Mm-hmm.
One commercially minded secretary and about 200 US in API per month, giving my business a fighting chance. Because no matter what, if it's a matter of keeping these 4 people employed, I can't do it based on everything. I could keep myself and one person employed and use AI for the time being and try to fight my way back into the game or find a different space to compete. I already have a legal environment where there are no employees at will. Each one of these employees have rights as it exists right now, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So what my new law is saying is that my ability for my business to survive is not even a consideration in terms of how these people are going to have their livelihood continue. And really and truly.
You mean that's with the new RSPA?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that. You see, the thing is, a natural part of your business expenditure.
Yeah.
Remember, you put out your capital to start your business.
Yes.
But a greater part of your business is your human capital.
Of course.
Right? And therefore, you have to treat your human capital the same way or better, because your human capital...
Not or better,
your,
and better.
Your human capital is what bringing in the bulk of your money. Your resources. So if you can't see that you have to send something down you to take care of your human capital, then you start off bad.
But
you start off bad.
But this is
and then we are in a very charged industrial relations climate.
Very charged.
That are going away.
Going to get worse.
That are going away. Right? Yes. The stupid charge and all. So that ain't going away. So then, if that's the case, then why can't we understand that we have to live together? And understand that you have to take care of your human capital in a certain kind of way.
And I would tell you what the reality, and the business reality that's going to hit is going to happen very soon. You have a groundswell surrounded by HR people, so I know I'm not speaking to the unconverted. We have a groundswell of workers who believe that they do not need to learn, they do not have to be commercially minded, they do not have to think about the survival or the viability of the businesses that support them.
But you see, them kind of workers, them kind of workers, you really don't, them kind of workers is not... I don't want to say this.
Don't say a thing. But what I'm telling you is, you now have that behavioral trait.
But it goes back to how you, how you culturize,
how you lead and all that kind of thing. Because
people, how you train your people. And how you compensate your people too. Because to a large extent, there are people who. You have some very, very toxic organizations in Tobago.
100%.
Very, very toxic. And the toxicity. The genesis of the toxicity is not necessarily anything else but how your compensation and how you treat your workers.
Very correct.
Right?
Very correct.
So we had to understand the nexus between them things, Pally.
But we understand
if you
it,
don't
innit?
understand that you have problems in organizations, and you have a lot in government organizations too.
We understand it clearly, but what I saying is at some point, somebody is going to have to explain to a shareholder why somebody is still taking 3 hours to type a letter when I could say, write a letter to Stephen Matheson saying he's an awesome person.
Let's take this
letter
call.
done.
Let me take a call.
Yes.
Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening. Are you hearing us?
Yes. A pleasant good evening to the Empires.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes. Loud and clear.
Yeah. Right. Yes, to 91.9 Trinidad and Tobago. Well, I am very glad of what Jamaica did a couple years ago, because they realized, well, here in October 2022, Jamaica's broadcasting regulator, the Broadcasting Commission, announced a ban on music and television broadcasts deemed to glorify or promote criminal activity, violence, and illegal drugs. Right? So I am waiting for Trinidad and Tobago to do the same, because you see, some of the adults, right? Some of these adults, they know very well that music can influence you, right? So when you get marijuana into these youth's heads and you play this sort of violent music, you see the results that will happen, right? Worse again if they are exposed to firearms, right? So this is a big contributor to the youth misbehaving with violent and criminal activity and with firearm activities and so on. Right? So Trinidad and Tobago should follow suit. Right? So because it will solve a lot of the problem, right? And need to get the youths to know about God in any aspect, because you need to tell them they're not only going to get a judgment for murder in the land in reality, but if you die, you have to face God if you don't repent for those kind of acts you're putting down on earth, right? So I thank you very much for allowing me to contribute that.
Yeah, thank you. And the caller made some sense there too, right? And that's why we tell people, call us, let's hear what you have to say. Clearly, we have to also observe culture, because that is what makes us Trinidad and Tobago. We have our own unique system and culture and that kind of thing. But what you were saying there, I mean, there are so many things that we have to think about. This is I always say, crime in particular, a multifaceted approach is what is needed, right? And we have to understand all the things. We have to understand the antecedents. We have to understand everything that causes the whole thing. But we were talking before we after we left that particular segment, we were talking about the RSB and the employer, and we were talking about why there's a need for the employer to observe also the human capital in the organization. For some reason, we see those as just we treat it as they are just cogs, but they aren't.
It shouldn't be.
They are the be all and the end all of your organization, especially in linear kind of organization that we run in Trinidad and Tobago. And I talk about the analog HR, right? Especially because really and truly we still see people in the organization like how we see them in the 19th century.
Yeah.
Right? Just to come and work, give us.
I must contradict.
No, okay, go ahead. I'm not saying we should be seeing them. We should. No, that's not how we should be. But I'm saying for most cases, the employers see them like that.
Here's my problem.
Come and work. I pay you. You go away, and whatever I pay you, that's it.
Here's my problem. It's not how the employer see the employee. How the employee see themselves.
Right.
And this has a great bearing. It has no bearing in the companies that see their workers as cogs, so to speak. And a great many of them toxic as hell. Come to work, do I tell you, they ball you up, they cuss you up, they do what they want.
Let me take this call.
Yeah.
Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon to the panel and to your listeners. If we are expecting this amount of thing from an employer, this will mean that employers will have to take a serious look at who and how they hire people, because you will have to be highly productive in order for that to be sustainable, right? Because it already have companies who have things in place for their employees, right? But also to have something that you're putting aside in the event that you face some terrible times in the market and it become unsustainable. Your workforce really have to be a group of productive people that will allow you to achieve that aim, because without that amount of productivity in your business, you really doomed to fail, you know.
Well,
you're doomed to fail.
Well, we say that all the time. but that's what we want. We want productivity. So if your productivity equal more money, more revenue, right? And the thing is, business. If you want to stay in business in the way you saw business in the 19th century, and you ain't going AI and you ain't going online and things, you want to stay in business like that with people, plenty people, then you have to understand that you have to have efficiency and effectiveness have to be a mantra, and you have to be able to manage people the way you should be managing them, motivate them to do greater things and earn more money.
Well, while the state is passing this thing here, I hope they would have considered all these things, and we will. Yeah. Well, I see somewhere in Point Fortin they say licensing will not be closing for lunch anymore.
Well, yeah, that's
so
good.
Hopefully that is something that will reach all the other offices across the land in short order.
I see. But so too, customs, they should have that in customs too.
Yeah. I mean, long time, but we wait and see. Lockdown.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the thing is, it is about time. Listen, what we want in Trinidad and Tobago, and it is what brought about not the IRA but the Industrial Relations Act, 19. And what we want is industrial peace. We don't want unions that have to rise up and just fighting and all that kind of thing. We want the more industrial peace. Some call it the unitary perspective of the relationship, the industrial relationship, where you treat your workers so good that there is no need for trade unions and that kind of thing. I'm not necessarily saying that. Yeah. I'm saying that what we want is that fundamental understanding by both parties that they are important to each other. Your workforce is important to you and you are important to your workforce. Right? It's a partnership. A silent partnership. Although they're not partners in that way,
they are very much partners. And if we
they are very much partners. Because without them, you're not going to get what you thinking you should get. So the big companies must also understand that the Ansa Macals and the Neil and Massey's and all of them, they need to understand that too.
Yes, correct.
Right?
In your opinion, do they?
Well, not to the extent that they should. Yeah. Right? Because if that was the case, then people would have been compensated better and there would be more equity in the system.
That's an equitable society again, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I am saying that where you don't do that, then you have no choice. Remember, it's a tripartite situation. The government will step in and do what the government has to do to protect the vulnerable.
So let me throw the pebble in the pond now. So, a junior software developer in Trinidad and Tobago may ask for $8,000-9,000 a month. A much more skilled junior software developer, better educated, more skilled, in Egypt will ask for $600 a month.
Right.
Yeah? These are the contemporary issues. You could hire a Filipino project manager for $1,000 a month that's doing everything for you and more. What you getting out of somebody you're paying $7,000?
Through AI or through what?
Through normal situations, and in Trinidad and Tobago.
And working online.
Correct. And in the same breath, I am saying to you that some of the workers that you cannot get a fair day work out of in Trinidad and Tobago.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We have to pay some bills. When we come back, hold your thought. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? And you can join us, ladies and gentlemen, in the discussion.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. The big nation, cause you don't know we wear the crown. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we all have fun, and let we join together because KFC is life. It's a big deal.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Big deal.
Wrap up your Thursday the right way. Twister Thursdays. 2 twisters for just $54.95. Loaded, saucy, finger licking good. One bite and you know it must be KFC. Order now. Follow KFC Trinidad and Tobago WhatsApp channel for all the deals.
Better living starts at Furniture Plus. Get up to 50% off on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus free gifts with select purchases and just $1 down on credit plans. Don't wait. Visit Furniture Plus today.
There's some advice when you hear it, you know one time is good advice. My granny tell me a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea first thing in the morning does wonders for the body. Good and natural ginger tea in its single-sized packets is excellent for flavoring your cooking, salads and desserts. But what was news for me is when my granny say a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea helps with nasal congestion and colds, stomach problems, migraine headaches, and it's really good for arthritis in the body. Made from freshly crushed ginger root to get that strong ginger taste and aroma so soothing. Good and natural ginger tea available with or without sugar, so all you need is boiling water to get a cup going. As the old people say, don't take flambeau to see in the night what you could see clear in the day. Good and natural ginger tea. Good advice to start your day right.
Hi there, I'm Lester Sublal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Is a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. Because the KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make it like this.
Introducing Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. And you are listening to the Third Empire with myself, Stephen Matheson, Mr. Gerard Llanos, and Dr. Sandiford.
People really think I'm a doctor, you know.
Yeah, doctor in your own way. Yes. So, we were talking about the kind of employer and the kind of employee relationships that is needed in Trinidad and Tobago to take us
and we were talking about
to the next level.
Outsourcing. So this is my concern. You know. I could get a proper software developer for $600 US a month in Egypt. I could get a high-level, qualified, technically savvy project manager in the Philippines between $800 to $1,000 US a month. Yeah, and it just lists the countries all over the place.
And this is to what? To manage your what? To do what?
To do work. To work, to be a worker. But this is what I'm saying to you. The same workers that you cannot get a fair day work from in Trinidad and Tobago will take a hybrid job working in the US, where Trinidad and Tobago workers are in high demand, and they will be standout employee of the month.
Why I say we are in high demand? I just
so what we have is understandable English, cultural similarity, same time zone.
Okay.
Yeah? So there is a tremendous demand, very educated workforce, very smart, very quick on our feet. You know, some people have plenty degrees, but they don't. That is not a Trinidad and Tobago problem. Our smart people are smart.
The smart one are smart. But the ones that go to school just to get a degree and a job.
Listen, by and large.
But they don't know how to monetize it.
It's not even a matter that they're not willing to do it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah?
The effort and the hard work they would prefer to do for somebody else. And we see it here all the time.
Yeah, that's true, you know.
No disrespect to the public sector, but they will give the worst. But then they will open a private practice and then win the best.
Because at the end of the day, what they have, because they have the education, they have the capacity.
Yes.
Well,
so it's just to open it up.
They should.
But they're not opening it up to a low intensity, low efficiency business or a government agency that there is no need to be at your best. There's no need to be at your best because there's nothing, no oomph pushing you to want to be there. No appreciation, no motivation. You know, that's true. You know, what you're saying there could be really, really a reality.
At the risk. This is a risky thing to say on radio, but I'm going to say it anyway. There is a classism, there's a colorism, there is a forward racism and reverse racism element to who want to do how much for who. It's easier to do it for a white man.
You said what you said.
I said what I said. Easier to do it for a white man. It's easier to do it for an Indian man. Sometimes if the Indian man too dark, I don't like that Indian man, but I like this one. This is the Trinidad and Tobago we live in when it comes to the private sector. Okay. I rather work for a big company where I never meet the boss or the owner. But if that a man just like me, not much different, same different, not as different place, not a different background, whatever, he'd win that. And we're trying to mash up that man.
Okay.
And these are some of the issues that business owners, and when you see some business owners turn toxic and turn evil, and I see it, I consulting long enough, I working with enough business owners for long enough, and when you hear some of these stories, it is nuanced. It don't come in the textbook.
Of course. This, you see that point he raised there? That's a harsh reality, and I'm going back to the young people and choosing crime and all of these things. I am going to say what I have to say today. You know the way you are treated by your complexion and by your look. You could ignore it if you want, because sometimes the only time we come together as a nation is for carnival. That is the stark reality. I am sitting here as someone who was once judged with my good qualifications and didn't get chosen because I didn't have a certain look and a certain complexion.
But that's
all I'm saying.
That was when.
That,
Once upon a time, not long
Since I
ago.
started knowing you, you were successful.
yes, it doesn't it doesn't stop me from being successful. But as a HR, I'm just saying it has happened to me with my good qualifications. So all I'm saying is this: I understand the realities of the ghetto youth, but from one ghetto youth to another, you have to know what your situation is and avoid certain things. You cannot continue to go down the road and say, woe is me, because there's nobody that is coming to save you. That's all I am saying.
Not even your parents.
What will your parents save you with?
They didn't know better.
They
didn't
don't
teach
know
you
better. They don't have anything. Let me just be real. They did the best with what they have. A lot of them, there is no land, there's no property, nothing to hand over. You are the one that's breaking generational curse as a young person. And you are saying to me that you are seeing your mother suffering. You seeing your father don't have nothing. Everybody paying rent. And that's the best you could do? Come on, man. I'm sorry, I'm not living for the excuses. That's all I'm saying. Because you're going to come out into the harsh realities of the world and realize that your complexion is going to buy you from a lot of things. All we're saying here is understand your realities, because it doesn't finish when you take off that school uniform. That's when life now starts.
You know, I used my daughter, my big daughter came to Trinidad when she was about 13, 14. And I used to drop her to school. And a little neighbor, and another young lady who used to be by us sometimes. I used to have a conversation with them every morning. It went something like that. I wouldn't say what it was on the radio, but I always say, you're poor. You're living in a community where everybody consider you poor.
Yeah.
Right? You're black.
It's a reality.
Everything going on work against it if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
And that's all we're saying. It's not even a contention with the other races. It doesn't have anything to do with that. We don't have the same benefits, is what I'm saying, because there are other communities whose families
not
would have put things
not
in
even the
place.
bank recognize you or in the same way.
If you try to start a small business as a young African person, and it's not me being racial, it's me saying this is the reality. A lot of the times you just may not get the favor because guess what? You don't know anybody. Your auntie, uncle, tanty, nenen, you knows nobody. So you have to make your own way.
Nobody are coming together and pool
That's
resources and all that kind of thing for you
we
to
don't
be
have
nothing.
that.
You understand?
And we may want to have it,
struggle.
but the next thing is now he was talking about the business owners and so on. Let us be real. Sometimes we as an African community have challenges pulling our money because of the assumed dishonesty. I'm just being honest. If there was a safe space for us to say this community can also come together, we would have done it by now. But there is a reason why it's not happening. And whenever we get, it's for we and we alone, and we're not trying to pull somebody else up. So these are the realities that our young people in all categories are coming up against, and they have to make different decisions.
And you understand the challenge.
You have to understand it. Whether you want to go in the workplace or you want to start a business, these are the things you are going to come up against.
Let's take Mr. Bataya. Good evening, Mr. Bataya. How are you? It's been a while.
Ma'am, I will explain our position as real as it. I can't go by auntie and sit down and say, auntie, you know, I want a bottle of water. And auntie tell me, well, you know, that's a nice idea. What do you need? Auntie, I went to the bank and I need about $300,000 to bring down a machine. And auntie would say, well, I will mortgage the house. You have to pay it, you know. I will mortgage the house and I will take a chance. We don't have that. We don't have that. Auntie could see my vision. Because auntie say, you mad, go to school and get an education.
That's right.
Go to work.
Or, and that is why you see, ma'am, a group of people gravitated to the PNM. Although they say the PNM is a black party, but we don't have no other thing that says us. Because every organization I see that was formed for blackness in Trinidad and Tobago, Million Man March, man come and tell me go and open a price mart, take my money. Everything that a black man come up with and say we going and do something down the road, they take my money and they go on. Boy, if you don't laugh, that a man run a program on this radio station for months. His son and his daughter, we go in and buy a building in Bataria. We go in and open a price mart. So when I hear our next man saying, let we shop by each other, and we decided we pull resources together because the PNM didn't know nothing about black people. The PNM is not a black party. So if we pull resources together, and I open a grocery, and you open a grocery, who's going to buy the potato and peas from? Eh? Because we don't import the potato and we don't import the peas.
Why not?
So how we get in there? Why not? But how we get in there? We don't see ourselves there. We see ourselves going to school and become a public servant. Sit down and get to work for 7 o'clock. Not only us, society at Trinidad and Tobago, most of us. Yeah, we could go to work on the corporation for 6 o'clock.
Right.
Some of us who smart, they'll buy a little car when I done, I go and pull bull. Some of us who had a little trade might do an electrician, and that is not on the black side. Eh? So them are 2 up. I have 1. Sit down on a evening, and when you pass in, I ask, give me $5 I go drink a beer. You understand the point? But we turn around and blame a political party. We were first here. We had the best government. It was so dreadful plan. They come into office and say that we have 1 race of people in the police service. That wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault that General Commission was the first person, black person. It wasn't my fault, Easy Crawford. These things were not my fault. Dr. Eric Williams was my fault. But we blame ourselves and become victims because of talk and hold ourselves down and don't see ourselves. I tell them I know the same serial man come in my man and born Patek. My mother paying down 50 cents, 25 cents on a yard cloth. I hear a man trying to tell me after 1990 on a state radio station this evening that after 1990 the PNM benefited. So he wondering if because of what take place in South with the police, if the same thing going to happen again. You understand that logic? There's a man on a state radio station preaching that the PNM was responsible for 1990 and telling you that that is a group of people that is in office. So how you expect, anytime the government do something, for all the years PNM in office, you know, the PNM help everybody on the East-West corridor. And 9 months ago, they tell me the PNM didn't do nothing for it. The PNM give everybody a GC house and they ain't pay no rent. And then again, free current. Some of it might be true. But you understand, so a group of people carry it on and then turn around and tell you, vote for me, all of we go with. And then they turn around and take away the same thing that all of we was eaten from, to tell me there was ghosts. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you. Sometimes you don't even have the words to say, but I think we need to start being honest. If we are looking at the context of crime and trying to find a way out for our young people, it is best to be honest about their realities. It upsets me to the core to see our children fighting in school as if their parents have a way out. And the only time you remember your dreams is when they put you out of the school and say you're not coming back here. You not remember you wanted to be a nurse.
Let me take this call. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, gentlemen and lady.
Good
afternoon. Good afternoon. Well,
I called in, I was listening. I called in because I like how that young lady examining the situation with people of African descent.
Yeah.
It is real, it is before us. There is no fiction here. Right?
plenty times we talk about a circumstance under which you're in, and based on that as the reality, and that's why you end up going down, picking up the gun. And we have to be clear on what is going on with people of African descent. People of African descent somehow stretch their hands towards other groups quicker than they stretch their hands to themselves. Somehow we are our worst enemy. We might have discrimination against people of African descent. But you know, you're finding the hardest battle you have is with your own.
That's right.
And that is what does weaken us even more. You think about going into business, and you're thinking when you start a business, some of the people you hope that will support you will be your own people of African descent. You're finding out
It's not so.
those are the people who are looking to cut you up the most.
Yep. That's right.
You're coming to that reality. You know, the condition of this whole politics in this country is something you have to examine very carefully. And you're seeing where, because we don't know how to really tell ourselves, it's not about being racist, you know. It's about understanding that I have to have a love for self.
Yeah.
They say if you don't love you, you can't love nobody. And that's a reality we have to face. We have to learn how to work with each other, how to take care of each other. But what we're finding out is that we rather go out there and take care of other people, and other people cut us up just as dread when they're ready. But the hardest cut you must get is from your own.
That's right.
That is what facing people of African descent. And I'm glad we have a little conversation on this evening. But it could touch somebody, you know. It may not touch the man going and pick up the gun today. But it will touch another young person of African descent, and when they're listening, it might help them change their little position and recognize that, listen, I live in this life, and I know it will always going to be easy. It will have challenges before me. And when I look at my skin color, there's another challenge I have while I live here. Because there are people who just don't like me because I'm a kid. But I have to learn how to overcome these obstacles. And hopefully when they look at persons of African descent who are in business, who are accomplishing things and looking from a positive perspective, they could see them as mentors. Hopefully they could see them as a hope. That listen, if they can do it, then I can also do it. So it's nice to have the conversation. I hope that some of the young people of African descent listening will be able to see you all as positive persons working hard as people of African descent, and use both, all of you, as an example to move forward in this life journey that we are. Thanks very much for your time. And continue to have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you. And we do appreciate your contribution. Yeah.
Good ball. Good ball.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a reality, and it's something that we really have to consider and think about. If we could just talk to the people, those who might be a would-be criminal, those who might be, you don't know where your next meal coming from. You're not sure where your next meal coming from, and you're thinking about doing the wrong thing. maybe you should listen to us, because there are a lot of opportunities out there that we haven't tapped into as yet, and we are not necessarily favored in the way some other people. It's not as easy for us.
That's it.
But certain other things, as my good friend will tell you, makes it a little easy for us if we just think.
So, if I may, I know we don't have the world of time. I want to say this to any family out there who's hearing what I'm saying and they're asking themselves. You know, some people has asked how, and some people has asked how. You know the different hows? Some people like how, like it's not even possible. And then some people like, well, how you do that? Simple playbook to break the cycle. I tell anybody under the age of 40 who have a child.
Under the age of what?
Under the age of 40.
40.
Who have a child.
You're talking to me and Simo, yeah.
Yeah. Even if you're barely getting by, find $300, $350 when the month come, buy $1 million life insurance. If you have to skip a meal and pay that premium, do it. And that is something the Jamaicans
you know, hey, watch me. This is a very nice program.
Of course. Wait.
You're going to empower people there, and people don't even know that.
It's something the Jamaicans understand, and we don't understand in Trinidad and Tobago. So when, I tell you something, when I used to be in the insurance industry.
You was an insurance man?
Of course. And I am now a very highly skilled technical financial advisor, not even dealing with insurance. I don't even do insurance right now, and I still doing financial advising every day. They understand life insurance is an immediate legacy.
Yes.
Whether you're dead tomorrow,
that's right.
Or
Your
you're
child
dead
still
60,
has something.
That is something we had to tell more at Trinidad.
Listen,
no, that is so serious, eh?
But if you
that
know
is
your
so
family
serious.
have nothing, listen, I don't play about my insurance with my child.
Simple thing. And let me tell you the next thing you do now. Make sure you're up on your life insurance. $1 million. If you can't afford whole life, and whole life can help you retire. If you can't afford whole life, do term.
Yeah.
Start there.
Start with something.
Start with something.
Correct.
Your
People
child
don't understand that.
You poor, but your child is a millionaire.
And people, sometimes you're broken to teeth, and the first thing you're thinking about is ending your life
Lapse our life insurance.
Watchman, that is so stupid.
That's the worst thing.
That's the worst thing you could do.
It's something
because it's not something you'll get back at the same price.
Exactly.
And you might even get it back. Because
you might even get it back. You might be sick. The next one, point number 2. Walk in your local neighborhood bank. Tell them, lend me $10,000, you keep the money. I don't want it. I go just pay the bill when the money comes.
Who keep the money? Oh, the bank keep the money?
The bank keep the money.
Oh, so you...
So that is you there saving $10,000.
Giving yourself a commitment to save that every month.
Building
capital.
Credit. Yeah?
Yeah.
Building your payment history with the bank. And when you're done pay it, you have $10,000 that you could use for something.
Yeah.
You know, simple so. Right now, people are buying gold. It's a popular
buying what?
Gold. Popular business right now.
Of course, it's
gold has a nice global market price right now.
Appreciate.
Simple so you are 10 grand cash, and you just let people know. Listen, any scrap gold you have, I buy it. Any scrap gold I have, I buy it. And you buy out $10,000 in scrap gold, and melt it and sell it back. You make 20.
Wow.
Yeah. Buy a car, somebody was selling off a car fast, buy it for 20, sell it back for 30. You just make 10 grand. And this is how
I think you no chance with car.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, build your relationship with the bank as small as it is.
That's right. That's the point.
And the next thing right after that, as you build up from your first 10,000 to your first 100,000 to your first 500,000, land.
Buy land.
Yeah? You might be able to buy the house for 1.8 million.
But
you could buy a piece of land for 300,000. Yeah? If we want to understand as poor people, because remember that, you know what? I have to big up George Abu. George Abu, rest in peace, a stalwart of Trinidad and Tobago commerce. Remember George and them father come here and walk Trinidad and Tobago with a piece of wood strap on the foot. They call it sapat. They walk Trinidad and Tobago.
To create a legacy for the
trust
trend
in
and the family.
cloth and this and that and the other. All the biggest conglomerates at this time. George now dead. They said that long ago. There people reaching the 30s. Yeah? Little before World War II. Most people, parents, is born in 50 to 60. Did not hear that long. And they've built a strong legacy.
That's
They've
right.
created employment.
Correct.
They've created investments,
Correct.
etc.
Correct.
They didn't come here with nothing. So I saying to people out there, if what I saying impacting you in any way, even if you don't have 2 cents to knock together and you're picking your meals, yeah?
That's right.
And even in I telling you all, in 2025, I sleep on a couple park benches.
Wow.
I skip some meals.
2025 last year?
Last year.
Where you mean you sleep on some
I
park
sleep on a couple park benches.
But I was seeing you in suit and thing every day.
That is the game. That is the game right there. Mr. Matheson, I'm telling you something. During COVID, my office was in a box in the Oval. I can't afford Oval rent, but I was around some people. And we're talking about big businessmen. They hitting the road with a cup of coffee. Literally no money in the pocket. But they're out there looking fit. So you may feel like them people eating nice. The people who running the businesses, sometimes they're not doing as good as you think. But the difference is the mind and the systems they put in place. I told somebody this last night. In a contracting economy, if a man know where he lay in his head at night because he own where he live in, and he have a reliable vehicle, it would be the newest vehicle in the world, and he have a little cash, he have a 50,000 or 100,000, he does not need to be doing nothing big and fantastic. He get up every day and look for $1. But nobody putting him out.
Yeah.
And he know where he get any transport. If he see an opportunity, he have a little capital to put out. And maybe more people, because maybe our people don't hear enough of what the real world of being a business owner is.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
And it ain't no better rules.
Yeah, correct.
But those are the people when you see and you look back, like how we driving up the road in this bed.
Remember we were talking about success?
Yeah.
Earlier on, and we were talking about the color of success. And it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
I really like that you raised that point, because I want to just mention 2 young people that I see that they invested their monies well. See Voice?
Big up
I am
Voice.
so proud of Voice. From
Big
the
up
time
Voice.
he won that first Soca Monarch, and then, he started to invest, he opened his own studio or whatever it is. He put his money to work and didn't just decide, I'm going to drip in gold, I'm going to wear all of this. The man, he sing about that, he invested his money. Certified Samson. Watch now. I am so proud of that youth man. He opened an ice cream shop in Guyana.
Which one? The one who is certified?
The one who does do the
the
different characters.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Yeah.
I am
too
so
bad.
proud.
Yeah.
The other guy, Kyle, he have a little coffee shop, and so they are taking their money that they make as young men and investing and doing things that will sustain more money.
Correct.
So when you see them traveling and doing different things, it's because they could afford to do that now. They have paid their price.
Exactly.
But you who don't have, as you said, 2 cents to rub together.
Samoya. They didn't work hard and they didn't invest. You know what they do? They was lucky.
Listen
they
to
was
me.
lucky somewhere.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point I'm making.
I'm being sarcastic. They was lucky.
No, you're being sarcastic because just about to tell you, luck is really opportunity meeting preparation.
Nah, they're lucky.
So
they're lucky.
And you know what? There are people, I get what he's saying, because there are still people in the social media comments talking about they're bringing down these young fellas and like, are you all serious? You're sitting here just being keyboard warriors and these fellas making money. They don't have to go and fight up in a corporate job.
I say that all the time.
They could
it's like people who get up just to watch
watch
a movie or what. And I say, see that people are watching it?
They could monkey around.
People get paid.
So listen, that youth man who just came here, speed something, whatever. My 7-year-old know this influence. I don't even know who this guy is. This youth is about probably 20, 21, and he could afford to have his own plane hopping from island to island where he nearly gets sick. He eats so much.
Correct.
21.
Right? And we looking at them and we don't understand, we ain't willing to do the things them do.
It is what it
to
is.
become
You can
successful.
say what you want.
if you understand how success work, right? It's a playbook. You know?
Thank you.
For you to become successful, you have to be willing to do the things
Other people not
successful
willing to
people
do.
do. The things that
Correct.
they did to become, you gotta be, and most of us not willing to do it. Most of us now willing to put in that time and energy and stick-to-itiveness and all that kind of thing, and failure, because success is littered with a whole set of failure. You talk about sleeping on park bench and thing. It's littered with a whole set that you fail a couple times, plenty.
4 times last year, I sleep literally on a park bench.
Why? You
Long story. 4 days in last year, I sleep on a park bench.
You get out?
No. I wasn't in Trinidad.
Oh, not in Trinidad?
I wasn't in Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah? So the point I'm making...
Yeah, I sleep in an airport in Atlanta one time.
That is not the same thing. That is not the same thing. We try to be motivational here.
In 05, I miss a flight.
Hey.
It's not the same problem.
Hey,
Stephen.
But all of this is to say that, and you know, if anybody looking on and not listening on, and for the people on the radio, you know, if you was looking at me on the camera right now, you would see a well-dressed gentleman in a double-breasted suit with a nice pocket square. And you will figure like, yeah, boy. Success, look.
Have it locked.
Yeah? You have it locked. You know how much people get scammed from a man in a Benz? A man in a range? Yeah, I don't call the people and them name in my mouth on the radio. You understand? What you see is only part of the story, and somebody could choose what to show you and outsmart you.
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah?
Correct.
The substance is in what you do. Yeah? So for anybody who not sure, pay your life insurance, build a relationship with the bank, buy your land, invest your money. Register your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Because you know in this time in here, people will look at certain things. You know, the government is obviously warming up to stimulate the economy in certain ways. And you will watch, way boy, look all them contract sharing and this man up and down with that, and look. You could never say they didn't give you a contract if you didn't register a company, pa. They didn't go and do your OPR, pa. Yeah?
Correct.
I want to encourage everybody under the song of my voice. It doesn't matter the race, but especially my people who look and song like me. Get up and fix your business bit by bit every day.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah?
Correct.
And that's all we're saying. It's not, you know, we could argue about, oh, is PNM, is UNC, is African, is Indian. Is at the end of the day, there are people who come out and do the work. And that's the point. If you know that you don't have certain privileges, you have to work hard. Darling.
Harder.
Harder.
Harder. You know?
Right? And some people may not be as good as you, but they have the opportunities, they have the resources, and you are sitting there talking about how unfair life is.
And I know how, and you wonder, well, how them getting through and you not getting through, eh? But they doing what, they following the playbook.
Stephen, I have had my own sit under me or subordinates and vex because I had my master's in HR. Because you sit in there for 10, 15 years and you deserve the job. And who is this little girl to come and tell me? And I sit there like, wow, where were you when I was laboring in Atalok, Jack?
Look where.
Where were you?
The hardest of the hard.
Yeah, nah. You feel Stephen was easy to deal with?
Boy.
It wasn't easy. You want to cuss me for my good master's degree?
Don't study them.
Come on, man.
Stephen, let me share something for the listening public benefit. Quickly. Because I don't hear every day. But you know, I've been in my business long time. And I'm looking for capital. And I went to a prominent businessman. And he watched my numbers, he watched what I'm doing. And he said, Gerard boy, this, I hope you're listening. Gerard boy, this is real impressive and I feel this will do well. But you know what? Don't take this the wrong way. but you're just not looking like the kind of fella that you just hand $500,000 to. You're not dressed like it. I have not left the house in a shirt and a pants or a jersey since. Sometimes what somebody else could do in a jersey and a sneakers,
Thank you.
you have to do in a suit.
That's right.
Yeah? I
That's
hope
right.
somebody who need to hear it,
You'll hear it.
Yeah? Get up and fix your business. Get up and do what you need to do, because nobody owes you anything. And nobody coming to save you.
Well done. Well said.
Yeah?
Well said.
Success of a playbook, right?
Yeah.
Nah, boy.
Yeah,
It's a good thing I look away every day.
Yeah, no, you're making sense. You're making sense. Our brother who used to say, look the part.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right? But again, that's only for some people, because some people don't need to do that.
Some people don't need to do that. And God bless them.
And those people who know themselves that need to do it, they need to take the stick out your ears.
I think I don't want to sound like, but I think I passed that stage.
But of course, I mean, you're already solid in your career. You are a renowned consultant.
I could go something in my short pants if I choose to.
If you choose to.
Yeah, but it took years to become the Stephen Matteson that is sitting here.
I pawned my suit to go to court.
But it took years. Listen, this
go
man
that
is
Jersey.
dread. He never lost a matter in court.
Nah,
it took you lose?
That's true. I lose some.
I mean, in the earlies.
Recent time I lose things.
He settled. He
You
didn't
settle.
lose. He didn't lose. He settled.
Exactly. He loses settle.
Yeah, but I settle thing.
So what you telling me? I work with you. The man, the things I see, I say, yeah, man, we losing for sure. And I know we gonna lose, boy. When we settle, I say, Stephen, something wrong with you, boy. Something wrong. How you get through this?
Man settle?
No. But what I'm saying is, but you're correct. You're correct. You're correct in saying that you had to dress the part.
That's right.
In some cases, because some people just don't trust you.
Yeah.
As I say, I kind of pass that stage. I don't really care if you trust me or not. I tell you, this is it. But yeah, you had to look the part and you had to do what you had to do. And the thing is, if he's saying all of this for young people who coming up who we still living in a kind of plantation economy in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right.
Which is different from, say, some parts of the US and that kind of thing. If you look at some of the workplace, especially the virtual workplace in the US, the Metas and the Facebook and the Google and thing. They in sneakers and short pants, and that's how they
operate. It's a
operate.
different environment.
Right? I was in Wall Street less than a year ago, and I see men analyze something on Wall Street in the suit and the short pants and the jeans and the sneakers and that kind of thing. So the world is changing, but in Trinidad and Tobago, we're still on the plantation economy. And we plantation, I should say. And it still have massa and it still have all the things that we learned that there were before. So we had to still look the part.
Work the part too.
Yeah. That's right. Look the part, work the part.
Substance over flash. But nothing wrong with both.
Yeah. So, today was a nice, cool, long conversation. Letting people know that, some of the answers to some of the problems. Right? The challenge with most young people is that although sometimes they may hear this from people like us, or some of them may hear it from the radio, some of them might hear it from school and that kind of thing. They don't know how to live it still. Because after you finish hearing this, you have to go back to what you're accustomed to, your reality. And that reality is survival. And it had to, you see, the state have a part to play too,
A big part.
Right? And we have to understand that. The state have a part to play, because if we really interested in crime and a safe place, security, safe place for everybody without being brutish, then we had to listen to they have to listen to what we say in here to fix some of that inequity in society.
They do.
Otherwise, it will continue and will get worse, and they will continue to have crabs in a barrel.
Absolutely.
Fighting each other to come out. Some may get out. Some may die trying to get out.
Die trying.
Some may just die
That's period.
from nothing.
'Cause
Right?
they ain't trying
And that's it. And then you will have some outside looking down and saying, all the bleeping clowns, I hope all they come out.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know? So the thing is, we have to do what we have to do to let people know that they could come out.
They could.
And what they have to do to come out.
The
That's right.
The people who making it out here not no smarter, better looking, or rich than any of us.
No, they can't.
I telling you.
Yeah. And the thing is, for the most part, I wish I was probably younger to be able to, say certain things. For the most part, we work very hard for most of our lives.
Yes.
Too hard sometimes. And then by the time we start reaching the time where we to enjoy, we ready to die, we sick, we can't enjoy it the way we enjoy it. And it's about time young people get out of that mold and be able to get rich long before they get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Correct.
Possible.
Right?
It's possible.
Because sometimes you work so hard, not understanding by the very nature of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're creating a situation
you could
for
get
all
sick,
kind of
yeah.
degenerative disease and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
which will take you out as soon as you start to get successful.
That is true. So all of these things I think is important as well. Is your health is also your wealth.
Correct.
So you
So
can't.
while you're doing all that, you have to learn what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be
Yeah,
eating,
it's a
what you
balancing
should,
act.
you have to balance your life.
So and this is where I see clues of it, and I hope it continues. I feel like this government is trying to figure out how to do some social engineering in Trinidad and Tobago. To what extent they succeeding so far, I don't know.
Let me
but
take this call.
Yeah.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening again. Right? So I call back. Gentlemen and lady. Kenny, what about the situation where you may have an idea and you present it in a place and that idea for business is stolen from you?
I've heard I've heard a lot of stories of those kind of things also.
Because you would have said yourself, well, okay, you may require some capital, as you say, and you present it to somebody that you believe would be able to give you some of that. They tell you no, they can't help you. But then somewhere down the road, you're seeing that your idea is being peddled by that individual or individuals. How then do you deal with that? I'll listen off here.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So now you're wading into some of the things that my business does. So, in the first instance, ideas are a dime a dozen. However, some ideas are more valuable than others. And it's incumbent upon you as a business owner to know that your idea.
Let's take this call.
Yes.
You'll answer that question just now. Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening. Hello, caller. Caller, hearing us? You're live?
Change him.
Alright, okay. Well, maybe this caller not. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So you ought to be able to evaluate your idea and see if it is. And
you had to be able to evaluate your
you
idea.
are in the first instance.
So,
Because
but you go into some agency for capital.
So you have to understand that. You have to understand and be able to risk assess who you going to with what. And I will give you a very recent example.
Yeah, well,
let me share with you. So I am a recent graduate of the Founders Institute, which is an accelerator for tech founders. Big up to Roland Hansing doing the Lord's work when it comes to startups in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. And there was an element of what I was doing that I was discussing with a gentleman out of Mexico. And he is like, and he's correct, you know, he's like, Gerald, it don't make no sense hogging up the idea when we're trying to get here to accelerate what you're doing. But I know what I had on my hands. I risk assessed. I know what I could tell him and what I can't tell him without protecting the idea. So I tell him, listen, certain elements of this are subject to some intellectual property controls. And I can't talk about those elements of it. But I can talk about this element of it. And when time to disclose, we will do a proper NDA. So I will let you sign a document and I will let you know the whole thing. And he was like, boy, I respect what you're saying. A lot of early stage founders who are looking for money, they don't have that discipline and that maturity. Yeah? Sometimes what you're doing is just a matter of you want to see how fast you can get what you have to get your business going. But the fact of the matter is what you're doing, anybody could do. For instance, it had a time when I felt like after insomnia, remember that party long time? I felt like after insomnia, it might make the world of sense to charter a boat to carry people from Chagaramas to Port of Spain after insomnia because of the traffic.
So you start doing that?
Well, I tried to start doing it, but I couldn't raise the resources. But the fact of the matter is anybody who could have chartered the boat could have do that business. So we can't get emotional about somebody taking an obvious and non-patentable business or something that cannot be protected and carry it forward because they have the money to do it.
But you know one of the things we need in Trinidad and Tobago, apart from banks and things, is venture capital.
Woefully, and that's why I tell you, big up to Roland Hansing.
You see venture capital?
He's one of the few men trying.
You see venture capital?
It's not available.
It's not available in the way it should be in Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct.
But you see, the next thing, Trinidad and Tobago is a small market. So whatever you're thinking, you have to think bigger than Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is 1.4 million people. So you had to think about developing something. This is why AI is important.
Correct.
Developing something that you could be exposed to a market of 2-point-something billion people, 3 billion people, right? If you could sell, if you could create something that is needed or that could be a household need that is not available to nobody in the world, but it could be a household need to everybody in the world and you're paying $1 for it. You are overnight trillionaire.
Correct. Correct.
You are overnight trillionaire.
But you know the problem that we have?
And it doesn't even have to be a product, it could be a service.
How much money you can get borrowed from Netco?
How much money?
You can get borrowed from Netco?
No, I don't know, but what I'm saying is...
No, I ask you.
I never check.
Well, let me give you the number now.
How much? 0?
Netco stop lending.
What are they doing now? Venture capital?
They're not doing venture capital, they're not doing lending.
When it goes about now?
Training.
Okay.
No grants.
No problem. No grants?
No grant, no loan.
So the training and the showing you how to get the loan then?
I don't know. But I could tell you that Netco was one of the places where if nobody else would help you, Netco would help you, and Netco at this time is not lending.
Right, but Netco at some point in time wasn't only lending, you know. They were doing something like incubation and training and that kind of thing. If I'm not making a mistake.
No, you're absolutely correct. But
right?
now they're only doing trading and not even incubation. They're just doing trading. There's no lending.
Right? But what we need in Trinidad and Tobago, more than anything else, is venture capital.
We need access.
Somebody with plenty money
to
listen to what we say in here and help people get out in business. Because business is what will turn around Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. Correct.
Right? And not just business for the people at Trinidad and Tobago, but business for the world.
Yeah. Correct.
Right? Business that is exposed, the kind of business or service that is exposed to the worldwide.
The doors are closed, sir.
The doors are what?
The doors are closed.
When you say the doors are closed, I don't understand.
What I'm saying is that if it is that you do not come from money, you're not in a money network, and you are not beneficiary of generational wealth, and the bank don't know you like that, and the credit union don't know you like that, the doors are closed.
So you're saying venture capital is the answer?
Venture capital, it would be nice if it was available, but it's not.
Let's take KFC. My partner KFC, boy. KFC, you're live.
Mr. Grattan, I take into the program, the ICE program, as assistant, Shania, the production in Goshigo government, looking nice in shallow,
Simoya.
and then you cut Simoya, and then you call it there. But then you know, very poor in the population and come out and you doing issues and things. My question, I see everybody in green, but you know, what's to be in green? Then call them out, you know.
What are you talking about, boy?
You work with the lunch.
Oh,
You are part of the government and not kidding share me. Why you calling them minister to them and ask them much people are here and thing, boy?
Boy, were you trying to get me in?
Because them causing crime, you know. Because you're talking about crime and thing. You know when a man is getting fed and he's going to have opportunities and not gaining opportunities. Anyway necessary you take it to see what in family, eh? Some might say it in an honest way, and some might say it in an aggressive way, and somebody else to feel the pain. I see they even knock. I see the poor target they even knock it by.
Poor fella.
Pack up, you call your government 10,000. When you commit a crime, you see that minister. Now, you know minister, we is something years.
Senator.
You know, senator. You know from Lafanti? And I was talking about black this and black that and black this and all kind of thing. How much you like people in Lafanti? And tell me to send resume and send this and send that for him. And send a voice to and tell me promote to somebody. When I call him for asking what's going on, he blocked me. My fire bond even knock it on number. Them do have black people, so I go. Bless.
Thank you, KFC.
Alright, KFC. You know you had a guy do some KFC when you even come.
Spicy original.
You original and spicy.
Yeah, he's both.
With pepper.
You know, I need a Prezi in a long time.
Yeah, well, we need a Prezi in a while and true. Prezi,
alright.
Prezi, all day still, boy. Next thing, Prezi. But let me just say this. Sometimes you hear somebody again, and next year, months after, you hear something. You hear something
good man. You will call tomorrow. Prezi call tomorrow, pa?
Yeah, you will call tomorrow. Tomorrow is Happy Friday.
Happy Friday?
Yeah.
What we talk about on a Happy Friday?
All kind of happiness.
Ah, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, but as you're saying, venture capital we need venture capitalists in Trinidad and Tobago.
We do?
Yeah, we need some philanthropists who has some money to spend on developing business in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe we need a Elon Musk, or we need this guy. What's this guy? The old guy. The old
Warren Buffett.
Buffett in Trinidad.
I think we need a Kamala for services, sir.
No, well, Kamala is doing. I mean, she's doing what she could do, but we don't have the capacity in Trinidad, certainly, to be able. And to me, it's a question of priority.
Okay.
And I think she might be doing some of it.
Yeah.
But you know, what's your take on? I mean, we're talking about the baton side here. What's your take on what the government is doing and how they are doing it for the people?
I think that the government is, and I mean, if you pay attention to the tea leaves, so to speak, the playbook is clear. They are attempting to create the conditions under which they can access money. They are taking a fairly low risk or high risk approach as it relates to aligning with the U.S. sphere of influence, which creates some short-term opportunities. We don't know if the political or when the political tide changes, what the impact of that will be.
Right.
But for the moment, it works. You and Trump is friends. Trump doing what you doing.
Yeah, it works. It works to be in Trump's good book. But how is it benefiting us?
Well, let's put it this way. I know that, and I said this already on
because Trump like a child. I mean, if you're going to rub your head on him, he can feel good and think, well, obviously.
Don't worry about that part. For my part, in a world where Trump is short on friends, and that's what it is, right now Donald Trump is short on friends. And if I choose to be a friend, that is worth certain consideration.
When I share up the cookie, I will consider it.
This is something that we have to consider, guys. Trump, not as smart as he thinks, but he's not as stupid as he looks. I will tell you what is happening right now. The same reason Ukraine war ain't done yet is the same reason we still have this Iran smoke. Russia,
the same reason why, let's say over that stuff,
the same reason Ukraine war, it can't finish up to now, is the same reason we still have this Iran smoke coming. It is good business. Russia's economy has grown.
It's good business for Russia and America.
It's excellent business for Russia to be in this smoke with Ukraine. They could have steamrolled Ukraine long time.
Of course, it's extra good business for them because they're getting a chance to do two things.
Yeah.
They're getting a chance to weaken America and form different kind of alliance.
And
But
oil revenues have gone up.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
territory has gone up.
Wow.
Etc. etc. They paying cheeky pets with Ukraine. They could have steamrolled Ukraine long time. It's Russia, the third strongest military in the world.
They're playing cheeky pets with America.
They play. Now, what we have going on, I want you to understand. So watch. Let's zoom out a little bit.
1 minute.
You dip for Maduro. You go up the road. You tell Delcy if you behave, you can keep the position. Delcy behaving after a fashion. You start to ease up the sanctions and US companies there. You essentially mash up the whole world oil and gas industry. What do you think happening next? Venezuela going to become the gas station of the West and of the world. But we had to let people suffer a little bit. Let some prices go up, etc. So then they say, boy, let me leave that Iran and Middle East thing alone and let me go buy Venezuela.
24/7.
And when Venezuela is at full tilt, it will not make sense to process gas and gas products in Venezuela when you have a full petrochemical industry in Trinidad and Tobago that you can just plug into.
Well, this certainly is a conversation I would love to have next day.
Yeah.
We are coming to the end of this program, and that
Have a good
conversation is a conversation we will certainly continue tomorrow.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.